This is an all-new Toyota crossover, because there weren't enough of those already, right? Seriously though, it looks like the Venza is on its way out, and that opens up a slot in the lineup for this, the Crown Signia. Now, Crown is a familiar nameplate from Toyota, and we actually have it in the US now, but this is not that, because that is a sedan with a high ride height, like a crossover, and this is actually a crossover. Very different, right? The Crown is only available in XLE and Limited trims, and since those are familiar Toyota trim names, we know darn well that they sit at the top of the lineup, which is a really good reminder that this is meant to be premium. Is it encroaching on Lexus territory? Let's find out. You might have seen the studio walk around we did with the Crown Signia back in November. That was a first impression. What we have for you today is a second impression, informed by, first of all, getting to see it out in the daylight in the real world, and second of all, I'm gonna get to drive it in just a minute. But let's start with how it looks. So first impression holding up, I do still think that it looks very premium, very slick and sort of futuristic. This part here kind of makes me think it's gonna have pop-up headlights, which would be very cool and very retro, but alas, no such thing here. The headlights are actually down here. And then this is the DRL, which I like how it's slim and it kind of flows into the shape of the grille here. I also like that the grille is body colored. I don't think that this shape here, kind of MC Escher-esque, I don't think it looks great in these sort of flat enamel colors. It reminds me a little bit of those rubberized playground fences, you know what I'm talking about? And it is kind of plasticky, but in the Bronze Age metallic copper color, for example, I think it looks really awesome, and it's a really refreshing change from the sort of chintzy chrome grills that you see on a lot of crossovers that are trying to appear high-end for less. This long roofline has already drawn plenty of comparisons to the station wagon body style, which is, of course, less and less common these days and consequently getting cooler and cooler. So what do you think? Does this have that same kind of cool? This one has 21-inch wheels because this is the limited trim. 19s are standard, so either way, you're getting big wheels. This color is called Storm Cloud. Of course, everybody's got to have a gray these days, right? This is a little bit bluish, but I think it looks great. This is one of your 2 free colors, one of 2 that are included in the cost. The others are all extra cost options. Back here, we've got more slim lighting, this light bar all the way across, and a standard hands-free power liftgate. That's making a liar out of me. Let's try it again. There it goes. Voila. I think that was user error. So, first time behind the wheel of the Crown Signia. Nice and comfy. I like the bolstering here. It feels like I've got a comfortable spot centered in the seat, but it's not too bulky and it's not getting in the way of my elbow, so I can still comfortably reach the center console. I like the center console because it opens in 2 different directions. So at first I thought, oh, that's a shame. Sorry, passenger, you can't access this, too bad, but they can. They have their own little button and it opens that way as well, which is pretty cool. We have standard ventilated front seats, heated and ventilated front seats, and standard heated rear seats. So those are super premium features, and I'm really appreciating the ventilated seats on a day like today. I like the leather inside the door cards. It's not a flat brown color, so it doesn't look painted. It actually looks like real leather, which is nice. We've got seat memory here, which is great if you share a car with somebody who's a very different height from you, like I do. I love a power folding mirror. That is a favorite feature of mine because I like to put my mirrors in every single time I park. I just have seen too many get taken off on the streets of Boston. I have the panoramic moonroof in this trim. I'm going to close it though because the sun is directly overhead and we're going to drive in a second. I really like the access to the climate controls, the way they're positioned. It's very obvious, and they do have hard buttons. I've got the 12.3-inch infotainment screen. That's standard. I have a digital gauge cluster here, which is, if not super fancy, very comprehensible, and I think that's going to be great once we hit the road. The cell phone charger, the wireless charger, is a pocket style, so my phone is right here. I love this because it's got a little sort of clip in it. I often misposition my cell phone on wireless chargers, but this guides it right in, and I can tell that it is charging. I can just see the top of it, which is great. It's not distracting, but I know that thing is doing its job. So let's see how it drives. So right off the bat, I'm a little surprised at just how much I'm feeling the road through the floor of the vehicle and kind of coming up through the pedals. I wonder if that's due to the larger wheels. I mean, everybody thinks large wheels look great, I guess, and so we're seeing them on more and more vehicles, but they do not contribute to ride comfort. So that's a consideration. That might be part of why I'm feeling all these imperfections. I'm also surprised at how noisy the engine is, although I'm not at a point right now where I really want to punch it, getting out of these twisties, and then I will. This has a standard hybrid powertrain, so I guess I thought if anything, I might hear it sort of switching between electric and pure gas power. Some vehicles do that. I'm not getting jarring transitions at all, but I am getting a lot of noise when I'm accelerating from about 50 to 60 and higher, or even just getting up to speed to merge onto this road. It sounds like it's trying hard. There's a bit of a growl, and I don't mean that in a cool way. But it feels okay, aside from the bumpiness, a bit of bumpiness, it feels pretty comfortable. Steering is about what I would expect for a vehicle like this. It's pretty responsive without being exactly thrilling. There are settings, so it's got, 4 drive modes? Let's see. I've got Eco, Normal, Sport, and Custom. And in Custom, I can set my preferences for powertrain, for steering, and for air conditioning, which is kind of interesting. So if you want it to be really economical for your fuel economy, you can mess with that. I am currently in Normal mode right now, and yeah, responsive. I don't think the vehicle feels super planted, and I think that's just because it's a bit taller and got a bit of a higher ride height. So I'm kind of feeling it leaning a bit as I'm going around these curves. That's okay. That's not really what it's for. It's not a sports car. So the Crown Signia has Toyota's 4th gen hybrid system standard. So it's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with 2 electric motor generators, and it makes a total of 240 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. An interesting thing is that the Venza was not rated for towing at all, but the Crown Signia can tow up to 2,700 pounds standard. So that's a really cool extra feature and extra use case for this new crossover. That's a neat thing. Now, I'm obviously going much faster than this, but if I were going 25 miles per hour or under, so for example, if I were in rush hour traffic, I could press this button down here for EV mode and save a lot of gas on my commute, for example. So that's pretty nice. On average, this is estimated to get 38 miles per gallon combined, which is pretty good, especially considering that it has standard all-wheel drive. The reason for that is that it is not mechanical all-wheel drive, it's electronic, so it can be more efficient and still give you that peace of mind of having the added traction and sure-footedness, as they like to say about all-wheel drive. One thing that surprised me is that we've got flappy paddles here on the steering wheel, and I did my research in advance of flying out here to drive this. I don't think I read anything about that. So when I first got in, I thought, okay, it's a hybrid. Those paddles are probably to adjust your regenerative braking, right? Because some people like aggressive regen, they really want maximum fuel economy. Some people don't like to feel it at all. That is not what these are. This is one of those sort of idiot-proof hybrid systems where the user really doesn't have to do anything with it except maybe put it in eco mode. Otherwise, that system is operating in the background and doesn't impact my driving experience at all. These are to change gears, but it does have an eCVT, an electronic continuously variable transmission. So it's just a funny little thing. Like, I'm gonna just pretend I'm changing gears. I can make it louder, basically. I can say, all right, I'm holding 4th gear and really stepping on it. Listen to that growl, right? Again, fair amount of growl. And I do know that we have acoustic laminated windows in this front row. I think they're doing their job in that I'm not hearing a lot of road and wind noise. I'm feeling the road through my feet, not hearing it. So that's working, really just hearing the powertrain. Overall, this is not quite the refined driving experience that I was expecting, especially given the price point. So let's talk price point. So the Crown Signia is due at dealerships later this summer. It starts at $43,590 before destination. The one we've seen today stickers for $51,250. That is including destination and the advanced technology package. So what do you think? When you get up into the $45,000, $50,000 range, are you still considering something like this, or are you looking at Lexus for that money? We really want to hear from you, and also would love if you would please subscribe to this channel so we can keep bringing you more great videos.